Hi everyone, it's Joaquin from Carrollwood Estates. We're gonna take a look at how 90402 performed this September, review the top 10 sales, who the buyers are. Overall, we've seen a lot more variation in the market. We're seeing new records and amazing sales, and some sales that are a lot less impressive compared to the first quarter of this year. Let's get to it. First up, 560 16th Street. This was the biggest sale for 10 million. We sold it. It's a gracious 1930s Spanish residence. It's sided. It sits on an oversized 11,000 square foot corner lot. Beautifully updated while preserving the beauty, the charm, and the architectural integrity of the original structure. I love the formal living room. It's one of the defining features of true Spanish architecture. So it has a large picture window with a fireplace anchoring the room and French doors that flank either side. The rustic timber beam that crowns the fireplace gives the space texture and organic character, and it really contrasts beautifully against the smooth plaster and soft neutral palette. The entire home, it's such a tasteful remodel. It keeps an authentic style and that old world feel. Everything about it is professional, refined, elegant, yet still warm and very proper. The grounds, they're lush, almost overflowing with landscaping, but in the best way. The custom wrought iron railing on the staircase was made with diamond motifs. Such a beautiful detail. Upstairs, I love the office. It's attached to the primary suite. It's the perfect spot to get some work done while staying connected to your partner. And outside, the terracotta pavers and dark wood trellis draped in greenery really complete that classic Spanish feel. It's an A+ authentic architectural Spanish on a big 11,000 square foot lot with beautifully curated grounds. Our buyer he's local, he's from North Montana. We brought the buyer here. They were extremely successful in wealth management, and they're now in real estate and have a very impressive track record investing and developing. Next up, we have 37 Haldeman Rd. This one sold for 8 million. It's 3,000 square feet. Now it says it's a 27,000 square foot lot, but it's built into the hillside. There's not that much room for the yard. And this one sold for a very impressive $2,500 a square foot. It's a classic rustic canyon log cabin built in 1925. Really, really unique home tucked into the hillside, and it sits at the end of a very long private driveway. Does not have much of a yard, which is pretty typical for a house built into the hillside because of that slope, but they made really good use of the outdoor space they do have. There's a courtyard dining area that flows naturally off the living room. It feels like a true extension of the space. That courtyard patio is framed by these weathered stone walls, and reclaimed wood dining table sits at the center, and overhead you have lush foliage and trailing vines spilling over the rock. It's just a really beautiful spot for dining al fresco. Off the kitchen, the dining room opens out to the gardens and a lagoon style pool, and then the living room, that's an experience in its own. You've got the original log walls from 1925, a river rock fireplace, and this incredible sense of warmth and history. This is where you start to feel that moody yet chic Japanese wabi-sabi aesthetic. So we have plaster walls, a soft matte tone, really diffuses the light and the warmth, exposed wooden beams, reclaimed timber with weathered texture. The wabi-sabi philosophy, it's beauty in the imperfect, the natural growth and decay, and you really see that here. The patina of the wood, the river stone, the antique botanical screens. This property last sold in 2020 for 4.49 million. The sellers clearly put some money into it and some effort into refining it and just sold it again. This is a huge number for a 3-bedroom house, unconventional floor plan and minimal yard. The buyer's from Chicago, also owns a $10 million penthouse in Miami. His company and partners are leading manufacturers and marketers of premium appetizers and gourmet confections. They sell nationally through distributors like Marriott, Cisco, and to major retailers like Costco, BJ's, Saks, Neiman Marcus. Really interesting, character-rich property tucked deep in the rustic canyon. Amazing sale. We'd love to see that. Moving on, 415 Palisades Ave. This one sold for 6.5 million. It's a 4,000 square foot classic California traditional with subtle Cape Cod and coastal influences. The house sits behind a front garden framed by mature trees, small hedges, and a red brick pathway that leads up to the entry. You see more of that traditional character on the inside. The living room is wrapped in wood paneling, wainscoting, and crown molding. Throughout the house, we have wide plank oak floors they're gonna bring warmth and a little bit of texture. The kitchen, very timeless, white cabinetry with a Calcutta marble island, bright, clean, classic. The backsplash is finished in white subway tiles, keeping everything fresh and cohesive. These same finishes carry into the bathrooms. Marble vanities and floors add a sense of continuity. Several of the showers feature the same white subway tile as well for a simple, polished look. It's a great traditional house. It's west of 7th. It's thoughtfully updated. It's well cared for. It is on a busier street. The buyer's coming from Playa Vista and works at Main Street Advisors. Very interesting company. So they're a local firm. They act as a strategic advisor and investment partner to leaders shaping media, music, entertainment, and sports. They invest in private companies with a strong cultural focus. They invest themselves, they get the opportunities, and they bring them to their clients. Next, 428 11th Street. This one sold for $6.5 million. Classic California Mediterranean with Tuscan and modern character. The stucco here is a warmer, earthier color that catches a really nice glow in the afternoon sun. Its arches and climbing vines really blend seamlessly with the lush greenery that surrounds it. I really like the arched loggia at the entry. So it's framed by columns and topiary. It gives the house a timeless, elegant feel. The house has a great floor plan. It's very well built, which is what you would expect for a house constructed in 2006. Very recent. The next buyer will most likely keep the overall character of the house, but modernize some of the finishes. It's beautiful to live in as is, don't get me wrong. One of my favorite spaces is the office right off the entry. Darker, richly stained wood, millwork, wood paneling, and a floor-to-ceiling arched window that looks out into the front gardens. It's the perfect setting for a home office, which is so important for me. I also appreciate the family room and kitchen that open directly to the backyard through French doors, leading out to a trellised patio and outdoor fireplace. The yard itself feels lush, private, almost like a courtyard tucked away in Tuscany. Very well done. The buyer's coming from Pacific Palisades. He's a prominent real estate attorney who started his own firm that later merged with a national firm. He's also held senior roles at 2 public real estate companies, including one where he served as the COO. That's big stuff. All right, our next property, 306 Amalfi. We're back to the Canyon. This one sold for $4.8 million. It's a timeless 1930s Spanish revival. It's gated, it has a tree shaded entry. I really like the facade. So it's this long, flat plane of stucco, and it's accented by a series of small arches that run along the top of the first level. It gives the home a solid, very stately presence, more substantial than decorative, and adds a little bit of this traditional gravitas that I really like, and I think the buyer really like too. They got a good number. Inside, the home is dated but in immaculate condition. The original floor plan's intact with the living room and dining room adjoining in a traditional layout. If you were to remove the dividing wall, you'd open up one long sight line connecting the living room, dining room, and backyard, making the home live a lot larger without losing any of its original charm. I'd make that adjustment. Upstairs, the primary suite, they have vaulted ceilings. So they have beautiful scale and light. It's one of those details that gives the house a nice, quiet sense of grandeur. The buyer is coming from Brentwood and works as a director of finance at SpaceX. That's pretty cool. Next, 404 21st Street. This one sold for $3.825 million. 2,700 square feet, 8,900 square foot lot. This sold off market. It's a decent sized traditional, but the ceiling height's a little low. The lack of scale makes it tougher to sell as a fixer. It's sold for land value at what I think is a very low price. This should have traded for at least $4 million or $4.2 million. That's not the best. That's a bit disappointing, whoever brokered that, but I don't know the full story. So moving on, 218 16th Street. This one sold for $3.79 million. Hit the market for the first time in 61 years. A soulful 1920s California Spanish, full of character. This one, it's sold primarily for land value, and it went to a local developer, the same developer who built and sold 628 10th Street, which closed earlier this year for $11.2 million. That was a beautiful white brick, modern, traditional, really well done there. And this was a better price on a 7,500 square foot lot. So interesting. Next, 271 Amalfi Drive. This one sold for $3.56 million. It's a 6,500 square foot lot. We don't know how big the house is. It's an amazing seaside traditional. It's perched on a dramatic promontory with spectacular, unobstructed ocean and canyon views from every room. The style of the house, it feels part English home, part California beach cottage. It's timeless, it's charming, it's elegant. It was remodeled by the previous owner and designer, Jeffrey Allen Marks. The main level is incredible. It starts with the living room. It's wrapped in windows and it flows through French doors to a wraparound deck where the ocean just stretches out in every direction. The primary suite, it opens into a connected sunroom. It's completely surrounded by glass again, panoramic ocean views, it's vaulted ceilings, white painted. It has exposed wooden beams. It gives the room a nice airy open feel, and it has shiplap walls that give it that relaxed coastal character. There's also a built-in daybed nook where you can sit, read, and when you look up, it's straight out to the water. The buyer's from Santa Barbara. She's a psychotherapist with a private practice working with individuals, families, and couples. It's a perfect buyer for this house, very relaxing. Next, last on our list, second to last on our list, 752 25th Street. This sold for $3.5 million, 2,200 square feet on an 8,700 square foot lot. It's a single level California ranch with a low slung roof line and a clean stucco facade. Dark frame windows, a slate pathway, and lush drought tolerant landscaping give it a nice, fresh, contemporary edge. A lot of value here for $3.5 million in North Montana. It has a nice open concept floor plan where the living room, dining room, and kitchen are all connected and open directly to the backyard. The primary suite also has French doors leading out to the yard. Good indoor-outdoor flow here. The only drawback is that the house sits a little further back on the lot, which makes the backyard, a lot smaller than a typical 8,700 square foot lot. And being on the corner of 25th Street in Montana adds a lot of street exposure. This definitely affected the sale price. Last on our list, 315 26th Street. This one sold for $3.35 million, 1,700 square feet, 8,700 square foot lot on 26. A charming traditional cottage on a nice lot, just steps away from Brentwood Country Mart. This one sold primarily for land value to a local buyer. They live north of Montana and have developed before, but their main focus is their own public, vertically integrated private equity firm that's centered around brand and product ownership. So their portfolio, which they built, spans a wide range of categories, so personal care, beauty, pharma, food, beverage, spirits, household, automotive, paints, coatings, adhesives. So they actually built most of these brands, and now they're acquiring some more of these brands, all in these industries. Really interesting guy. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you or somebody knows thinking of selling, give us a call, shoot us a text, and email. Let us present our approach. Share our thoughts on how to best maximize your asset before coming to market. We have an excellent network of professionals to prep the house, from basic paint, landscaping, decluttering, minor remodel, full remodel, interior designer, staging. If you're looking to buy, let us connect you with the off-market properties we have available and that we know are available. Give me a call, 310-943-0909. Thank you.